is our referee. Jerome Garcias from France. Yeah, very clear that Argentina won the toss. And that's a stadium, not a full capacity crowd as expected. We experienced here back in 2014 when the Springboks narrowly won against Argentina by 33 points to 31. They trailed at half-time, but you'd feel that this time around, the Argentines have got the advantage. Joining me in today's commentary, former Springbok prop forward, Robbie Kempson. As we go through the Argentine team, no changes in that front row. Chaparro, Crevi and Herrera, very experienced. They'll be looking for a much improved performance at scrum time. Labanini, Alamano are the lock forwards. The loose trio outstanding. Issa Laguizamon, the experienced man, playing his 70th game for Argentina today. Landajo Sanchez will look to control proceedings as the game goes on. The experience and the oldest man in the team for Argentina, Juan Martin Hernandez. The back three, Tuculet, Montero, Cordero, crossed over the line. On the bench, the inexperienced, must say, Montoya, Aguero. But it's at the back where they brought in Iglesias just to come in and contribute. And not a big crowd. The one change from the Springboks in the starting 15. 26-year-old Vincent Koch will start at tight head. SA Player of the Year last year, Loot Diach, had a good performance in Nelspruit. The loose trio gets another opportunity to hit out as a combination. Faf de Klerk, Alton Yankees, the halfback pairing. And it's in the centres where South Africa would look for some space. Dialandi and Mapu. The experienced Banner and vice-captain rounds out for his 119th test match for South Africa. Lookout number 18, Lawrence Adrianza, has only got one test cap. And Bongim Bonami is the other player with only one test cap. Yaku Kriel was good coming off the bench. Morne Steyn has saved the day before for South Africa. Robbie Kempson, your take on the two teams.
Yeah, I think the change in Vincent Cox is going to be a big one in the tight head position. He's up against Nahu Chaparro, which he did very well last week when he came on for that stint of 25, 26 minutes. Another guy, I think, Loot Diaga, he's going to have a big impact to the game, along with at least Francois Lowe and Opa Mahoje. What a game he had last week, but can Francois Lowe control the breakdown here, which is going to speed up the game for South Africa.
Look very confident. South Africa Combrink is at a sublime test debut season. Bonambi. There's Adrian Strauss, Peter Steff has been good. Yaku Kriel, Morne Steyn, Rudy Page. It completes the Springbok 23. Augustin Creevy, his 51st test match for Argentina, will lead out the team here in Salta. Always pumped up, always very passionate, the Argentines.
Leads from the front, does Augustin Creevy. What a game he had last week. A bit petulant at times, as you can expect from the side. The discipline letting them down on occasions, and one to watch out for Facundo Issa. He tore the game open last weekend. Can he do the same here in his hometown?
Yeah, another one of the backs. You got it's Joaquin Tuculet. He's really outstanding in terms of counter-attack. That's a warm welcome for the home side. The Pumas here in Salta. Soaking all the atmosphere on pitch side. Hanyane Shumangi.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Yes, so plenty of excitement here. A lot of kids, a lot of the local club players out here. Plenty of excitement in this town of Salta. Expect a tough game for the Springboks, but really good to see Thomas Belly coming out early, making his 50th appearance, but really an expectant crowd. It takes about 18,000. They said 15,000 tickets were sold, and they're trying to fill up the rest. Can't wait for this to kick off.
National anthem of South Africa. patriotic song of Argentina. Always pumped up, always get up. Show plenty of passion, the Argentine team. Expecting a big forward battle, Robbie Kempson.
That we certainly are this afternoon. It's going to be led by that man, Augustin Griever, the captain. And the courageous captain he is of this Argentine side.
Traditionally a soccer pitch, expecting a very fast play. Fast pitch won't be that heavy. What the players are used to in terms of traditional rugby field will be very quick.
Very quick and slight altitude, so the ball does travel a fair distance. So both sides notching over from comfortably in their own half. Fast-paced pitch it is. A bit of a breeze, which will, it's kind of blowing across the field, but should be assisting South Africa in this first half.
Argentina got the kickoff. They'll be playing from right to left. And the experienced Juan Martin Hernandez, the 34-year-old, will get the game on the go. There's plenty of excitement at Lustria, but it's experience of Manuel Guzman who leads from the front. Hernandez gets Rugby Championship clash on the go. Mapu secures for the Springboks. It's been taken back into the 22. Faf de Klerk, Eben Etzebeth just on the gain line. Faf de Klerk looking for Elton Yankees, the left boot, searching for the clearance.
Yeah, he had the safety of his 22. That final ruck was inside. And a very good clearance first up from Elton Yankees, just to calm those nerves down.
First set piece cleverly taken by Argentina. Landajo, ball retention was outstanding. And Nelspruit, good defense by the Springboks.
Yeah, that is fantastic work. It was Loet Diago and Eben Etzebeth tackling the Argentine player backwards, forcing him to come off his feet. So defensive pressure early on from the Springbok team.
Decision time here for the Springboks. Elton Yankee steps up. Yeah, there was a bit of conversation between the captain, Adrian Strauss, and his fly half. Final decision, going for the 3 points. Well, last weekend,
There we see that contact area. This is where South Africa can impose themselves, particularly the likes of Loet Diago and more so Eben Etzebeth. He's known as an enforcer. He gets stuck into the defensive abilities and hitting those rucks and make much more of an impression on his opposition.
last week in Nelspruit, South Africa awarded 7 penalties, only managing to convert 3 of them. Success rate of 42%, looking for a much better start here in Salta. Meters inside his own half, Elton Yankees. The strike is good. He's got the distance. Yes, the direction. Oh, the flag stayed down.
Yeah, and then distance definitely not an issue here. That could have almost went over the fence behind the dead ball area. Just a little bit of direction, but good to see the box putting defensive pressure early on. See that kick fade off.
Oh, just missing it. Yankees back in the action. He's turned. Issa, the favorable bounce for the Springboks. Back inside Argentines 22.
It's just what they wanted. Territorial possession. Making sure the Argentines are playing in their own half, and from there, giving it a crack. You'd expect them to put a lot of pressure on their line out. Just got edging this Argentine side in length.
85% success rate line out time last week. Good contest from Eben Etzebeth. Pumas regroup, Herrera, and a bit of pressure. Mahoja together, Whiteley making the stop. Side entry by the Springboks.
And that's not what you want there. I thought the boxer did well to put it through. I think Opa Mohoja actually kicked that ball through. It was lying there, and he hoofed it through. But what they're doing beautifully is that they're rushing the pod. That's coming off 9 from the Argentine team, and they're doing well there in terms of putting pressure and driving those runners backwards.
Better line out off the top. Lendajo gets a pass away to Sanchez. Hernandez skip pass out wide. Argentina. It's Cordero on that right wing. Comes back in field. Front foot ball for the home team. With that advantage. South Africa infringing at the breakdown point.
With that rush defence not proving likely for the South African side. Managing to get the ball out wide. And always very strict at the breakdown. Jerome Garcias.
And the crowd now expectant, coming to life, starting to turn the volume up a bit. An unnecessary penalty there from the box. Should have tried to roll away quickly. Fantastic line out, and they go wide straight away. But from then on, I think Lionel Mapu was penalized. Should have made a better effort to try roll away.
Argentina on the attack. Their captain, Creevy, ball in the front. Looking to set up the driving maul. But a go forward for the home side. Keeping in the trenches, the pick up and drive. Looking to take South Africa on up front here, Argentina. Slow ball, Creevy. Mohoja chases on, it's Lutiaga makes the stop. They've committed numbers, South Africa in the breakdown. On the blind side. Pressure on the Springboks. Creevy gets the offload. The experience of Leguizamon. Options both sides. Sanchez. Hernandez. Advantage for a knock-on. And the Springboks breathe a sigh of relief.
Well, some good defence from the Springboks that time around, particularly out wide. The numbers are plenty and just forcing the pass. But Mapu and Allen, they had it all covered. But enterprising play here from the Argentines. And just like they did last week, using that short side to great effect.
First scrum of the match on the loose head for South Africa. The beast Tendai Taurira equals the record of Oosterand, the most caps prop forward for South Africa.
Can the Springbok scrum hold steady? This is the first one that should try to put them under pressure, the Argentines. It's not the worst place to give away a penalty. And just like last week, a number of resets. And Glenn Jackson, he got rather irritated by it and started giving penalties fairly early on in that fixture. But the Springboks, we chatted to Matthew Proud for what they've worked on all week, is really keeping a very tight unit, trying to absorb the pressure of the Argentines instead of going for the massive shove.
No, not a great engagement. And the Springboks will get a penalty.
You can see not much of a hit from either side. Last week, Ramiro Herrera, he went down a number of times on that tight head side, and Garcias, he's not going to have any of it in this game.
Just over the halfway from Melton Yankees.
And the crowd very quiet down here. Always sort of turns up the volume when Argentina are going forward. But Kemper, you're right, no hit there whatsoever.
Full line out for the Springboks. Ball in the front, off the top, Faf de Klerk, Alton Yankees. Will dab over the top. Good contest. Orlando's won it, but he's knocked it on. Just unable to hang on, but he did good work. Was Matias Orlando.
Just a bit of miscommunication. I think Manuel Montero, the taller man, was really running onto it. He should have taken that. You see him coming through.
Interesting enough, the kick from Elton Yankees looked like it was a set move, but not finding that desired space or putting the pressure on the opposition.
Solid scrum is all they need. Both options. Got Elton Janchi straight in behind. So difficult to defend from this area.
Vincent Koch on the tight head. Ref will let it go. Warren Whiteley trying to dig for it.
I think that case of the ball is available immediately. They're allowed to play it. I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, plenty of communication from the Springboks pack of forwards. Need to maintain the intensity for 80 minutes. That's what's eluded this group of players since Alistair Coetzee has taken over the Springbok job early this year.
Well, he's gone against Beast, but on this near side, you saw Tetes Chaparro going down on his knees. And it's got him for overextending.
A very soft penalty by the Springboks, advantage for the home side, Argentina.
Yeah, Robbie, what does a ref do in this situation? 2 scrums, a couple of resets, and he's talking a lot to the players, but no one's responding.
Yeah, there you can see Chaparro down on his knees, and he's blown Beast on the far side, probably just for his bind, trying to get that elbow up, which they did work in the week with Matthew Proudfoot, making sure he gets a bind really right up and tight.
In the front of the top, Landajo to Sanchez. Charge upfield. Options both sides now for Argentina. Probing for that right-hand side. Created the space. Back in field goes Tukulet. Pick up and drive from Krevy. Backdoor pass to keeping the ball alive. They're dangerous now, Argentina. Soft hands. And that looked forward, but ref will bring them back. And finding space on the outside when the passes stick, Argentina.
So those little passes that are creating the space, and just unfortunately that one not going to hand. There were still options open, but the pass just drifting forward.
Yeah, and that's when they're at their most dangerous, the Argentines.
Very simple, looking for the hit and some stability for the scrum to resume.
So far there's been no hit whatsoever, Shimam. You're right down there.
Yeah, but it's always difficult, you know. What does a ref do in this situation? He spoke to them just before the game. You come out here and collapse, and sometimes it just becomes a guessing game where the ref's just trying to penalize. And it seems like all the trouble's coming down the right-hand side also where Herrera is.
Very tall for a tight head prop. He's Ramiro Herrera, 1.94 meters. So he can tend to overextend.
Quickly taken, Warren Whiteley. Oh, knocked on by Faf de Klerk. So, advantage for Argentina.
It's exactly what the Springboks don't want. Scrappy game. It's going to suit Argentines much more than us. It's a little bit more structure needed. Yes, the quick tap is on. Just unfortunate fumble there from Faf. Not the greatest pass into his hands.
Yeah, at the moment, this game just lacking sort of any rhythm or continuity. It seems like 1-2 racks, it's a penalty, a knock-on, and the scrums aren't really a contest, so no challenge there at the moment.
Straight down the lock's feet, but this scrum will be complete. Landajo on the left-hand side for Argentina. And just couldn't hang on to it. It was Manuel Montero. Left the ball behind. He's big, he's strong, 104 kilograms as Montero.
That he is a big man, so you want to get the ball into his hands more often than not. Pick you down that left flank. He's up against Ruan Combrink, so you should be able to handle him.
Lutiaga for South Africa. Faf de Klerk relieves the pressure with the box kick. Secured by Montero. He's not listening to Landajo whatsoever. He's having a kick himself. It's a good looking kick. Faf de Klerk and support. Johan Goosen, fullback of the Springboks. Chasing on Warren Whiteley. Contest was good, says the ref. Mahoja involved, but Creevy will drive through. Ndaho. Show and go from Pablo Matera. Landajo. Hernandez. Brian Abano, vice captain of the Springboks on the left wing. The most experienced player in today's clash between the two teams. 119 test matches for Brian Abano, 64 tries.
Yeah, and at the moment it's a massive territory battle. Both teams just waiting for that error from kick receipt or trying to go along with the kick. Argentina did well there. I thought they might try build a bit of pressure, but again, getting the kick away.
Simple in the front for Argentina. Hernandez relieves the pressure with his right boot. Green touched the ball. Scrum dances. Well,
That's ignited the crowd.
definitely has.
Yeah, and you got to feel for Goosen. They needed the players around him or the guys chasing back to tell him that it's actually a Springbok player that touched the ball from the charge down.
It's a very hard press of the Springboks when they're getting up on defence. And the ref was very clear the moment the kick did go that it was being touched.
Well, he said rightly so, very clear from the ref, but can every player hear him? Clearly not. Goosen didn't hear him.
So we've had one scrum completed on the Argentine put in, one more of the same now. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah,
Well,
difficult one.
there was no touch from Elton Yankees from that angle.
Yeah, and this is where the players behind Goosen need to tell him that the ref is saying it's a charge down. And Robbie, massive scrum here.
Now that it is there, just want stability. You can see Jerome Garcia, the Argentines held that ball at the back. He had wanted none of it, was available to play. He wants the ball out.
Character test for the Springboks. Tied 5.
Got Manuel Montero also looming just on the inside of his fly-off, Nicolas Sanchez.
Good scrum, Argentina. Landajo open side, they go, the swivel, Landajo back in field. They found a bit of space, Montero, but it's Mapu, was his tackle good enough? The ref is right in picture. It's going upstairs to the TMO. Glenn Newman will make the call.
So just to check, he thinks there's no problem. So just the grounding. Montero, he was always going to get the ball. That wide arcing run, does he get over?
That's been knocked on.
Remember last week with Lana Mapu.
Yeah, very clear for all to see. So advantage now for South Africa. They'll get the feed at scrum time. Good tackle by Lionel Mapu. Try saving tackle. Concern for the Springboks is how Argentina managed to find space.
And have such a solid scrum.
Yeah, it was.
5 meters out.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good scrum from them. Robbie, they look like they're going to get ascendancy and keep that ball, and they're forced to use it. But also a promising move with some good block lines from their centres.
Good contest from both teams. Yeah, great absorption of pressure by the Springboks.
Now, once again, not going for that massive hit that we've seen in a lot of the games prior to this one. They did absorb the pressure very well. Vincent Koch holding steady and firm in the tight head position. It's important for South Africa to try and get some ascendancy early on in this game. Be difficult to be chasing this one later on in the piece, as they did the last time they played in Salta. And took a late penalty from Mornestein to win that one.
Not settled. Down it goes, so advantage for the Springboks. Oh, seems like a lottery at the moment, the scrums.
No, it's a complete lottery at the moment. Again, the tight head side of the Argentine scrum being penalised.
Ron Combrink's kick will find touch.
Brilliant.
It's taking play inside Argentina half.
Now this is that almost try. You can always see that Manuel Montero, wide arcing run. He was going to get the ball and just not managing to get the pressure down. But a good move, and as you said, Shimmy, concerns that it was that easy just to breach the line.
Whiteley, Francois Lowe, Faf de Klerk, Damon Dialandi puts his head down. Quick ball for Faf de Klerk. Grussen joining in the line. Was there daylight?
It's just a concern, perhaps a late tackle on Francois Lowe.
A call came from assistant referee Glenn Jackson. Ramiro Herrera. He's given away a penalty at scrum time now. It's a late tackle on Francois Lowe.
The problem is they don't really want to lose him because, yeah,
No arms and late.
definitely late.
No, that's a shocker, that. I mean, the ball's gone here.
If it's just the shoulder, it could be a potential yellow card. And that would be advantage South Africa. Discipline is going to prove once again a problem here for our Argentines.
Yeah, Robbie, that's the right call. There was no need for that. No arms. And a little bit lower, he would have gone straight into Francois Lowe's knee, which would have been quite, dangerous there. So definitely a yellow card.
Penalty advantage for South Africa. Distance not a problem in this ground, Robbie Kempson.
Man down. I don't know. Advantage to South Africa. Perhaps Alana would have been an option without their prop forward in there. And they can't change the prop until there's a scrum.
Yeah, it's a good call, Robbie Kempson. I think at the moment for South Africa, they want to get on the board. Pressure of the game. Also playing away from home. So the biggest thing for this team is building scoreboard pressure. That's a buzzword coming out of the camp. This time around, the flags are raised and South Africa is in the lead by 3.
Yep, and the pressure telling. The arm wrestle continues. Tough at scrum time. Both teams really not, well, very gun-shy at the moment in terms of trying to launch from deep. Tactical game, a lot of kicking, everyone trying to dominate territory.
Restart straight up the middle from Hernandez. Whiteley goes up, tidied up by Damon Dialandi. Straightens, puts his head down, but Sanchez is strong on the tackle. And with that is the turnover.
Oh, that is strong work, make no question about it. Nicolas Sanchez shouldn't be a match for Damon Dialandi, and there he was. There we see it, tucking the ball up, trying to go. Sanchez does have clear daylight, goes in for the ball, and the right penalty. And again, this is just knocked down that clock with that yellow card in the bin.
You're unable to dominate the collision. Damon Dialandi. To level the scores, Nicolas Sanchez. It's a good strike. And it's all square here in Salta.
He doesn't really wind down the clock when he goes for poles. A matter of 30 seconds before he knocks it over.
Yeah, and interesting, when the Argentines kick off, they're going for that short contestable kick. So trying to get position back. Let's see what the Boks do here.
It's just because they leave Lionel Mapu there. Is that going the 10?
Good restart. Grant Combrink, brilliantly taken. Not a great pass. Dialandi has got to rebuild from deep. Lionel Mapu shifts it on to Russen. Good track down, good defense. Matias Orlando quickly taken. Argentina upping the tempo of the game. Lindajo opening at the back. Combrink back in picture. Ron Combrink's left boot. Looking for some space, has found it. The bounce is brilliant from Ron Combrink.
You talk about ambidextrous. The man is completely ambidextrous. Here's Ron Combrink there, just nudging the left boot down. Perfectly timed. Bounce of the ball aiding him. And South Africa, they've got the Argentines under the cosh.
Johan Kemper, it was great positional play from him. Realized they tried to play quickly, hung back, anticipated that kick. And what a fantastic return.
Ball over the top to relieve the pressure. As Issa gathers. The exit plan has worked for Argentina. Brilliantly done.
Just noticed that they're trying to speed up the game, particularly when it comes to the line-out area, so they know that the Springboks can put them under pressure if they slow that facet down. And quite the opposite for the Springboks. Always got that banker ball in front with Etzebeth.
No contest off the top. Faf de Klerk, Alton Yankees. Inside ball for Combrink. Good defense from Leguizamon. De Klerk, no one to pass to. Just shifting it on as Strauss straightens. Good carry from the Springbok captain. Somehow it's been turned over. Leguizamon back in the action. Leguizamon, little dab through and into touch. Pressure back on the Springboks.
Yeah, Manya Montero not happy with that one. Yeah. Pretty much free space on his outside. If he'd got the ball, could have been trouble for the Springboks. And Combrink seems to be in a spot of bother himself. See that breakdown area. Pablo Montero getting the steal, and Creevy making sure that they get the ball out wide as soon as they can. They should have kept that in hand, one would think.
Yeah, and the Boks are just struggling at clean-out time, especially at attack and breakdown, where the Argentine players are very good. Once they tackle, they make good leg tackles over that ball, and they make it very difficult to generate quick ball.
And finding that with that very disjointed between scrum off and the forward pack coming around the corner.
Yeah, and down on pitch side, Combrink, it's like he's nursing a bit of a lummy, and Jesse Creel warming up in back play.
Defensive line out for the visitors, South Africa. Luat Diaga, up he goes. Plays Faf de Klerk, relieving the pressure from the scrum half, not the longest of clearance. Good take from Issa. Blendajo. Good carry by Argentina, front foot ball. That's what they're looking for, change of direction by the Argentines. Crevi back into the infield, the offload's good one. Issa runs out of space and foot in touch.
The difference in the pace of those breakdowns is it's very obvious. And the Argentines getting quick ball almost every time there's a breakdown area. This time just trying to force the passes and Creevy with the sunny ball. And Issa just driven into touch. Good defense from the Springboks.
Free kick for South Africa.
Robbie, and gentlemen, it's very quiet down here. This game is just like, there's been no pressure build up from both teams. I don't think we've gone past 5 phases once in the first 26 minutes.
And up and under by South Africa, just outside the 22. Laguzamon goes up, good take, beats Combrink. Can't get past the tackle of Matawarira. Crevi swings it on, they're finding space. There's a 3-and-2 for Argentina. Good defense from Warren Whiteley, needs to roll away as Cordero presents possession. Good defense. Looks like Vincent Koch. Sanchez, numbers and space on the outside. The pass to Montero, back inside. Orlando, he's been nudged on, but into touch. Matias Orlando.
And that's fantastic play from the Argentines. They've started to find space on the wider channels. They're getting around that rush, that inside rush from the Springboks. And if there ever was a great push out into touch, there it is right there.
Yep. So Combrink still doesn't look too happy down that right wing.
Lutjacha goes up off the top. Faf de Klerk to Tebogo Mohoje. Creating the space for Johan Grussen at fullback. No, not the longest kick. It's into touch though.
Yeah, and that's smart play. They're using Grussen on the right-hand side and Yankees sitting on the left, so they've got 2 kicking options from that defensive ruck. But this is the great play, getting around the rush defense, the Springboks pressure on the inside, so getting into the wide channels. Look at that scrambling defense from even Etzebeth. Definitely a try saver.
Off the top, Lendajo finds Montero. Straight into the tackle of Warren Whiteley. Pick up and drive into the trams. Etzebeth makes the stop. He's been good, Augustine Crevi. Another powerful drive by the Argentine captain.
I think very obvious there, Tebogo Mohoje. He's got to roll away from that tackled area. He's got Vincent Koch, who also made the original tackle.
Yeah, Robbie, and Vincent Koch went too high on that tackle.
Well, you've got to get into that 3-point stance, don't you, Shimmy?
Yeah, drop them nice and low. Look at that. This was post tackle. And Springbok players spending too much time on the ground. So the pressure telling, the attacking pressure telling now from the Argentines.
Sanchez to extend the lead. And Argentina, for the first time in the game, are in front by 3 points. It's all happened with 14 men in the park as Ramiro Herrera has gone back on to the park. Just over 10 minutes left in the first half. A restart from Alton Yankees. Lutjacha chased hard. Good work from Issa once again. Presentation, brilliant. Lendajo. Montera. Faf the track. Tackle is good. Argentina on the front foot. Options both sides. Lendajo. Hernandez will dab over the top. He's found a bit of space. The bounce is a favorable one. The Hodja can't hang on to Lendajo. Offloads as Milaguzumon straightens. Lendajo. Hernandez. Cordero. Now Sanchez finds space. Montero. Inside ball. They gather. And the try. Brilliantly done by Argentina. They kept the ball alive.
What a try from the Argentines. From the own 22. Ball in hand approach has been, the offloads have been fantastic. Tukule, he's got over at the end of it. But so many of these players involved with regards to the skillful approach of the game. Pace on the ball, the sleight of hand, and just the pace of the rucks just proving too much. Vincent Cook tackles in here. There's a mistake in the defensive line. Creates the opportunities on the outside. And just the pass back and fantastically taken from Jakun Tukule. He gets over. The Argentines are celebrating.
Yeah, one of the survivors of the clash last time is both teams, Melcher and Salta. Joaquin Tuculet, his 10th try for Argentina in Test match rugby. Straight through the middle for Nicolas Sanchez as he adds the extra 2 points.
Yeah, gentlemen, Jesse Creel about to come on. But this was the magic, the wide passing or the passing game of the forwards, finding space out wide in the wider channel. So getting around that defense and generating quick ball. But what's been impressive now is the ball carry of the Argentine loose forwards, Facunda Issa and Pablo Montero, doing some damage with their big ball carries and creating havoc. The box at the moment tackling too high, and the Argentine team starting to dominate the advantage line.
Up goes Lacuzimon, secures the restart. Lendajo to his captain Crevi, working hard on defense. South Africa. Martin Lendajo. Herrera, he's lost that one forward. Just his turn into the park. Ramiro Herrera, that went forward.
Yeah. Assistant referee Ben O'Keefe was definitely called that. Jerome Garcia's got taken out by one of the players. So good interaction from the refereeing panel.
Springboks trail by 10 points, but Argentina have been good value in that first half. Slowly building an innings, taking control of the match. Crowd getting vocal as the team leads as well, appreciating that last try by Joaquin Tuculet. And Ruan Combrink has given way for Jesse Creel on the right wing for South Africa. One of the better contests in this first half. Jesse Creel, his first touch. Very direct. Faf de Klerk, Alton Yankees. Lionel Mapu, little dab through by Mapu. Chasing on was Brian Abano, left wing. But it's gone too far.
Just the difference in the attacking approaches as we see this try again. That's Jakun Tukule, gets over despite the attempts from Combrink. That's Martin Ladagio.
He's been talking to the ref all day long, like any scrum off would.
It's been quite a bit of chit-chat down there.
Yeah, he doesn't stop.
Under a bit of pressure, but safety ball in front for Argentina. Ndacho. Martin Landajo relieves the pressure from the base of the rack into touch. Very quiet afternoon on that left-hand side for Brian Abana.
Hasn't got much of the ball, and just the difference in approaches. You've just seen the Argentines, ball in hand, quick ruck ball. And Dojo commanding everything from that 9 position. And South Africa, when they get the ball out wide, nudging it forward and rather going for territory instead of keeping the ball in hand approach. Have a look at that possession. Unbelievable. 70% of it.
Last weekend also finished off with a superior ball position. Argentina 55%. Off the top once again by South Africa. Alton Yankees. Amen. Dialandi, nowhere to go for him. Now he gets the go forward. Needs to roll away as Hernandez has done so. Whiteley. Good defense from Argentina and slow ball. Creel looking for work, came in on the angle. Good presentation by the Springboks. Can they build the pressure? Strauss. Ebenet's a bit behind the gain line. Off the track. Alton Yankees. Not too many options, and he's overcooked it.
Yeah, and it's interesting, if you look at the Springboks attack, the Argentinians are just saying take the front ball, and they're covering that vacuum. So it's making it pretty hard to attack from the loose forwards are always in our 10. And they're getting good width and D, so we're struggling to get any sort of momentum. And they're making good leg tackles. We saw that on Creel, on Whiteley. So some good defensive work from the Argentines.
And no numbers in the ruck, just the tackler, and then they're just spreading out and defending.
Once again, off the top, quick ball for Argentina. Skip pass out, Tukula joins in, finds Montero. Jesse Creel, it's chased hard. But Emmanuel Montero hoping for the bounce. Brian Abana comes through.
Good hard work done there from Brian Abana coming across from the opposite wing. Just showing his experience. Once again, just dangerous sides that they're getting the ball out to their wings so easily.
You touched on the line out, Hanyane Shumangi. Interesting, got 2 options at the back, haven't been used by South Africa. Warren Whiteley and Tebogo Mohoje.
Yeah, and they're giving us the front ball. They're saying, yeah, take it, or try risk taking the back ball.
And that throw jump, particularly to Loot Diaka, has worked effectively. I know they've only been using it as a defensive line out, but that might be an option to get that back ball.
Yeah, Robbie, and the other option is just to speed the line out up. Look how long we're taking to set this line out. We need to get the ball in and out before they can set their defensive lines.
The difference in the pace of play, particularly in the set pieces, it's very noticeable. The Argentines are upping it at every occasion.
Off the track to relieve the pressure by the box kick. First knock on from Blue, so advantage South Africa. Less than 2 minutes left in the half. 13 points to 3 Argentina lead.
Just communication problems once again. Manya Montero should have been his ball. Just got to be more vocal when he's going up for it. Once again, it's just that work rate of that Argentine loose chair. Issa Leguizamon Matera getting around the park.
Never once did it look like scoring, South Africa. Defensively, just not getting the space and the gap. So it's Argentina's really winning that battle, putting the pressure on. Off the track, choose fly off Alton Yankees. Now Damon Dialandi as he finds space on the outside, very lateral, but good tracking from Orlando. Dialandi has to work hard. Quick ball, de Klerk. Whiteley back into the traffic, solid defense. Leguizamon. Yeah, but it's a bit, no. That's a Loot Diaka from an offside position by Augustine Creevy.
There's almost one in every game from Augustine Creevy. Just erring on the offside line. I know he would think he was the tackler, but he was definitely beaten by the ruck. That was comfortably formed.
Decision time for Adrian Strauss. 3 points on offer. A backer system where you kick for touch and rumble up, get the driving maul on the go.
Nah, take the 3. Puts you in scoring distance as he's starting in the second half. You see all those leg tackles again, firm over the top. He cannot be playing that from that side. The ruck had been formed.
50% strike rate in this test match for Elton Yankees. He's had 2 penalties, converted the second one. This is a very important one for the Springbok fly-off. Elton Yankees, looks like he's hooked it. And yes, he has. Pulled it. And half-time score here in Salta. It's Argentina, lead by 13 points to 3. Half-time score at the Ernesto Matierran Stadium. It's Argentina in the lead by 13 points to 3. Well-deserved. Will the Springboks come back? Will Argentina record their second victory against South Africa? Well, the scrums didn't start off well, but when they got their game on the go, ball retention was good by Argentina, but good finishing, finding space out wide. A co-commentator, Robbie Kempson, a good first half by the home team.
It was a good, particularly the ball in hand, and they really sped up the game. That's perhaps what South Africa need to do. A bit more composure for them. The breakdown has been a real problem for them. Very slow ball. So the disjoint between scrum half, fly half, and scrum half and the forwards coming around the corner has proved a difficulty for them. But they've been behind before, and particularly here at Salta, and have come back to win it. So can the Bokke bring it on again here in the second half?
Yeah, back in 2014, halftime score was 13 points to 16 to Argentina. And it was South Africa victorious right at the end by 33 points to 31. Mornay Steyn came off the bench to seal it for South Africa. But what a performance in that first half by the loose cheer Matera Leguizamon and Facundo Issa. Need to secure better position of the breakdown point, South Africa. Find other options in the line out. Middle ball, maybe ball at the back. Alton Yankees get the second half on the go. Secured by Issa. Good first half from him. Another great tackle. Luatiaga. Landajo. Augustine Creevy brushes away off the track, but Mahoja comes in for the tackle. Landajo. Tarira slowed him down. Chaparro, they got the safety of the 22, Argentina. Nicolas Sanchez, straight up the middle. Elton Yankees. Goosen in support. Elton Yankees goes direct. Can't get past the tackle of Herrera. Off the track. Johan Goosen. Francois Lowe. Off the track. Johan Goosen. Damon Dialandi. Change of direction by South Africa. Adrian Strauss needs to straighten. He's done so. De Klerk looking for the runners. Finds Low. Good defensive effort from Labanini. With the advantage for South Africa. They want to keep ball in hand. Quickly. Was quickly taken, but brought back by the ref. Jerome Garcias.
Yeah, an injury down for one of the Argentine players. Much better here from the Springboks. Francois Lowe taking up, still going for those low tackles, but not rolling away from that tackle area. But more pace on the ball. There's seen a lot more communication. And I like the introduction of Johan Goosen coming into that fly-half berth.
Yeah, Robbie, and we saw that Springboks trying to attack, well, trying to counter-attack from Alton Yankees, not kicking the ball back, because that's where they've given up possession, and they managed to build up some sort of pressure. The end result is a penalty.
Very clear that the instructions changed at half-time, because in the week they did talk about a big kicking game. You saw Faf de Klerk in that first half, relieving the pressure from the base of the ruck, base of the line-out as well.
And then Lawrence Adrianso warming down here on pitch side.
Alton Yankees looking to add some points in the second half, and he's done so.
Shimmy, I'd expect Lawrence Ardenson to be on sooner rather than later. Not specifically because of the scrums, but just a lot of defensive errors coming in from Vincent Koch out in those wide channels.
Yeah, it looks like Steven Kitsoff also might be introduced.
That man in picture, Manuel Montero, is in the shed. There's been a change by Argentina. Hernandez is deep on the restart. Brian Abana, one of the try scorers back in 2014. His experience will be required today. Alton Yankees. Isa. Some of the experience of Hernandez, who was good in that first half. Crescent. Francois Lowe will find a bit of space. Needs to keep the ball in two hands. Ball retention is crucial for South Africa. Crescent, Alton Yankees. Skip pass to Damon Dialandi. He'll dab over the top by Dialandi. Creel to chase on. He gets the bounce. Backtracking was Amaracino. Cordero. Vincent Koch makes the stop. First time tackle, letting the Springboks down. Sanchez on the right-hand side. He's turned Brian Abana. Doesn't get a kind bounce. Abana keeps it in play. Brian Abana. Nowhere to go as Creevy makes a solid hit. Francois Lowe for South Africa. Lotiocha. Faf de Klerk. A little tester for Argentina. Up goes Brian Abana. Brilliant aerial skill from the Springbok winger. Whiteley. Alton Yankees goes flat. Alton Yankees now finds Johan Goosen. Ball's gone backwards. Yankees, soft hands. Creel needs to keep it in play. Brilliantly done by Creel, staying in field. Yankees. Goosen looking much better for the Springboks in the second half, over the top. There's they find Brian Abana. Brian Abana in field. Brian Abana. Another try by the Springbok flyer. Try number 65, a world record. And his 20th try in the Rugby Championship. Another record for Brian Abana.
He's a finisher of sublime quality, but have a look at a few of these skills. Goosen once again involved, widely involved in your excursions. There's the pass of the trust from Etzebeth, and what a lovely touch coming in from Francois Lowe. And to finish it off, Brian Abana, who else?
Made it on the scoreboard back in 2014. And his second Springbok game under Alistair Coetzee. It means so much to the coaching staff. Zondi Listek, the backline coach, and the head coach, Alistair Coetzee.
Yeah, and some big changes here. Lawrence Adriansa, Peter Steph Tutoy, Steven Kitsoff, and Morne staying all about to come on. So trying to inject some energy. And the Springboks building up pressure, getting into a bit of chaos, but definitely a pick-up in tempo from the Springbok team.
Much better performance in the second half from Johan Goosen, getting more involved. Nicolas Sanchez go to the blood bin, receive some medical attention. And with that, Santiago Gonzalez Iglesias will come on. Amaracino's already come on and he replaced Montera. This kick to level the scores for South Africa. Johan Cruyssen is first for today's match. Yeah, good strike and straight through the middle from Johan Cruyssen. It's all square here in Salta.
Well, the Springboks have come out fighting. This is towards the end of it. The magic pass here, Francois Lowe. He goes back door, and look at that, fantastic work. Off to a banner. Even Etzebeth Sanchez goes too high. That's where he got injured. But the Springboks definitely picking up the tempo. And Argentina struggling to keep up with the pace.
Hernandez, Juan Martin Hernandez, gone deep. Peter Steph de Toy, his first contribution this afternoon. Johan Cruyssen. Good positioning once again by Facundo Issa. Hernandez. Tester for the Springboks. Cruyssen, as he knocked it on. And that's the call from the ref.
Yeah, no question about the knock-on.
Yeah, it seems like there was uncertainty whether Faf de Klerk was going to get that ball or Johan Cruyssen.
The try again, Etzebeth managed to just get the pass over. You're right about the pass from Lowe. And a banner, clean pair of heels towards the try line. Much better from the Springboks. They've upped the ante in the second half, and they're going to have to continue to do that if they're going to be winning this game in Salta.
Yeah, and also Jaco Kreel has just begun to warm up. So Alistair Kutia adding fresh legs very early into this game.
And was the difference last week, Shimmy, they make no mistake. And the Springbok bench, I'd say, comfortably the stronger of the two.
Better power from the Springboks, but Argentina retained possession at scrum time. Joining in, looking for work. Hernandez finding space. Front foot ball for Lendajo. Searching for their second try. The offload and the tackle. Argentina 5 meters out. Lendajo. Little cross kick. Habana is being tested. Lacuizamon goes up. Lacuizamon dots down. Brilliantly done. It will go upstairs for a referral. Manuel Lacuizamon, the 33-year-old, did he get it down?
Clever, very clever from Hernandez. Just checking for the grounding.
Yeah, he's got that.
No question. It's a good effort from Brian Habana, but just the strength to get over for the try. Lacuizamon has the second for Argentina.
Solid response by the Argentines to regain the lead. Juan Martin Hernandez, his kick is a good one.
Yeah, and a fantastic comeback from Argentina, but that cross kick was wonderful work. Lacuizamon keeping the width out wide. By this stage, keeping the width here and reading Brian Habana isolated by himself. A big flanker coming up with a well-weighted kick like that. Very difficult to stop, and great work from the Argentines.
Issa once again, he'll break away. Lost the safety of the 22, but the Argentines don't need it. They're going to keep ball in hand, searching for out wide Hernandez. Back in field, but held up by Opa Mohaja. Was that high? Taken back. Johan Goosen. Springboks look to keep ball in hand. Goosen will need some support. Has that been turned over? There it is, advantage Argentina.
Yeah, right in front of you, Shim. So quick onto that ball.
You are very effective. It's like there's 15 features in the Argentina team. Really, as soon as a leg tackle's made, they've got very good technique over the ball and they slow it down wonderfully.
You see, Edson is almost through the half gap, and there might be more said about that. No doubt about the high tackle around the neck.
Open Mahoja's got him in a headlock. That's dangerous play.
Attacking line out center field for Argentina.
So that first scrum from Steven Kitsoff, a bit more pressure applied on Ramiro Herrera.
Another good scrum by South Africa.
Well,
Fresh legs on, having a huge impact in the second half.
he's got Herrera once again just for dropping his bind. Might be a question whether South Africa walked around the corner slightly there. You've got to get forward momentum from the entire front row first and foremost. And up comes Mr. Reliable.
694 points for South Africa in his 61 test matches. Mornay Steyn.
He's done this before on this field.
Rightly so.
With 4 minutes to go to win the game.
Yeah, and gentlemen, Jaco Kriel, top off, ready to come onto the field here.
Mornay Steyn's kick is not a good one. Flag stay down. That's 9 points. It's gone a begging by South Africa in this test match against Argentina and Salta. Goosen. Fullback for the Springboks, Johan Goosen. Whiteley goes up, can't win the contest as Hernandez does a sterling job in the air. Advantage Argentina. Quickly taken. Shoulder down goes Chaparro. Looking after the ball, Argentina sold the dummy. Issa found space. He's big, he's powerful. Gets the pass on. Was it an early tackle? They are 5 meters short. Landajo, Martin Landajo looking for runners. Argentina, have they let it slip? They've got the advantage. That's a chance gone a begging. They're looking good. They had the Springboks defense at 6s and 7s.
Got to keep it careful eye, particularly on Martin Landajo.
Yeah. How good has Fakunda Issa been today, gentlemen?
Oh, pleasure to watch once again the young man.
He's bullied. Look at this run from him. Strong leg power, too high from the Springbok defense. The combination of him, Matera, and the big ball carriers in the Argentine team have caused trouble for the Boks today. And Landasho so smart from him. As soon as the ref turned his back, tapped and go, went quickly, trying to pick the tempo up. And Argentina almost got over there.
22-year-old Facundo Issa coming through the ranks of Argentinian rugby. For Hernandez in front of the upright, he raises the flags.
So, Jaco Kriel on the field. He'll add some very necessary energy into the Springbok pack.
Francois Lowe is given away. Restart straight up the middle, chased on by Warren Whiteley. Brilliantly done, Pablo Matera. Ndakho solves the dummy, finds a space. No pillar defense for South Africa. Looking for support. Good defense. Peter Stiff the toy. And with that, the turnover. 10 points in it. Argentina lead 23 points to 13.
Yeah, and Landako, he tried to do a dummy or over the pass top, and he made Peter Steph to toy. There we go. And that's where he's hurt his back. But very smart play from Landako. Well, not that, but the break he got around the ruck.
Well, he tried to stop so the rest of the players could join him, and Peter Steph did it. Unceremoniously dumps him onto the turf.
Yeah, it's pretty brave to do that against the lock, Kemper.
Taking line out for the Springboks. Adrian Strauss. This time around, ball of the tail. Eben Etzebeth. They keep it in. Peeling out of the blind side, Warren Whiteley. We need some support. Krevy contest on his feet, the turnover. Poor execution by the Springboks.
He loves that, doesn't he?
Oh, the game is far from over. Be concerned with that smile.
Oh, he's a warrior, make no mistake. He gets stuck into everything. Shimmy, you played against him a little bit.
Yeah, tough customer, very good at scrum time. And will always physically challenge another hooker. Loose forward, move to hooker, and he's adapted beautifully. Just a disconnect here. Adrian Strauss should have stayed out wide. Warren Whiteley running wide there. And so isolated by the leg tackle. Krevy over it.
Looking for the exit play in Argentina. Issa, good defense by Mahoja. Change the direction, Landajo. Deep in the pocket, the clearance from Iglesias. Creel. That's Yaku Creel. Driven back. Good tackle from Guido Petty. South Africa backtracking as Faf de Klerk finds some space. De Klerk. And Johan Goosen just couldn't hang on.
Yeah, and the game's starting to open up a bit here. But if you're going to hit high, that's the way to do it from Opa Mohoje. No nonsense tackle from him.
He's put his body on the line once again, Teboho Mahoje. He's really bringing that line up very fast. You can see him just on the outside of Jaco Kriel on the defensive line, but he gets out the blocks very quickly.
100% strike rate at line out time by Argentina. Chaparro in the front. Martin Landajo. Guizimon. Landajo clearing from the base with the kick. Up goes Goosen. Springbok secure. Faf de Klerk. Open side finds Morne Steyn. Branabana. Good defense by Argentina. Ball is out. The turnover is good. The toe upfield. Looking for space and they find it. Pressure on South Africa. And dotted down by Damon Dialendi. Very close.
Very close. The game's definitely opened up. Full of running, and here we go again.
Quickly taken. Goosen will tow it on, and South Africa have lost their shape.
Fairly calm so far in the box. Alistair Coetzee, he's under the stick.
It's getting festive down there, Hanyani.
Yeah, the crowd starting to cheer on the team. They realize this game is probably about to hit the tipping point. If Argentina can score again, they'll probably seal it up. But the Springboks probing, it's opening up, and lots of gaps are starting to occur.
Good performance from the Argentine captain, Agustin Crevi, feeding the line out. Good take by Alemano. Another good tackle, Mohoje. Pendajo. Iglesias. Santiago Gonzalez Iglesias, but Brian Abana being dominated in the collision. Just showing his experience and looking after the ball. Good defense, Damon Dialandi. They regroup to Colette. Very important clean from the Argentine fullback. Taken back. Montero. It's Matera, Pablo Matera. Just buying his time for his support to come through. Very lateral at the moment by Argentina. Somehow they always manage to find space, and that's gone forward.
Yeah, quite a bit of kicking from both sides. A bit more of an arm wrestle at the moment. We saw the game opening up from both sides, trying a few little tricks.
Yeah, and what's happening now is that the loose forwards from Argentina aren't dominating anymore. So listen to what the ref has to say here.
And that's the end of the afternoon for the captain, Agustin Crevi. Julian Montoya has come on. And a very warm round of applause from the crowd. Well deserved by Agustin Crevi. His 51st test match for Argentina. And his better performances. And celebrating his 50th cap. And the blue and white hoops, Thomas Kubeli.
And that's the forward pass out to Agustin Crevi. But the Argentine loose forwards aren't dominating anymore, and that's why the attack is looking average. No one's straightening up or getting over the advantage line, and they're not generating that quick ball. So running out of options.
Steady platform for Faf de Klerk. Mornay Steyn, the switch with Damon Dialandi. Creel there to clean, quick ball for Faf de Klerk. Peter Steff doesn't get it, but it's Jesse Creel who comes in from the right wing. Better by the Springboks. Damon Dialandi, powerful, strong. Will he get over? No, it's gone backwards. Ref says it's gone forward. Another opportunity gone a begging by the Springboks. Kubeli buying time. Advantage is over, into touch. The clearance is Thomas Kubeli.
That was a great move from the Springbok team. Running angles, getting over the advantage line. Diamond Alindi. So he's trying to look for the offload. Then as he tries to bring the ball down, dislodged. But promising attack and continuity from the Springbok team.
Should have just put his head down, have a good crack for it.
At the back, Mohoje, Faf de Klerk finds a Habana. No daylight. They've done enough to slow it down, the Argentina. Warren Whiteley. They get into the red zone, the Springboks. De Klerk. Long pass to Mapu. Not rolling away, not enough advantage for the Springboks.
Robbie saw the value of getting good back ball, how much easier it was to attack the vacuum. From then on, getting over the advantage line, building pressure wonderfully, the Springboks.
Mornay Steyn signals to take the 3 points.
Now, Faf de Klerk also enjoying a bit more freedom in the second half. More pace on the ball. Also just bringing particularly the blind side wingers into that vacuum you've spoken about, getting a bit of go forward, which is what they lacked in the first half.
Right in front of the upright for Mornay Steyn. Head down, and he follows through.
Much better from the Springboks. But the Argentines, it's just kind of a nil spray at this time. They just fell off the pace of the game. So just their conditioning, a bit of a concern. And a bigger concern was that Ramiro Herrera is the only out-and-out tighter that has to remain on the field. Can he crack on for the next 15 minutes? Because the bench is a very young one and an inexperienced one.
The on debut is Felipe Aragui. He's come on in the front row. And Desio also another replacement for the Argentines. Mornay Staten's kick, not going to find touch. Issa sees the opportunity to run, and he takes it. Facundo Issa, he's been good once again for Argentina. Soft hands came in from Montoya. They're finding space on the outside. Argentina, Landajo straightened. Was there obstruction there? Referee's happy with it. Springboks under pressure. The pick up and drive. Kubali. Landajo. No way through for Pablo Matera. Was looking for the offload, couldn't get it. Hernandez, inside ball. It's gone backwards. Kubali tidies up. At the tipping point, Tukulet. Cordero will come back in field. Kubali. Head down from the replacement, Frank Ranker. Julian Montoya. Searching for some width. Back on that right-hand side. Springbok defense under pressure. The carry is a good one from Guido Petty. Need to roll away. It's a ruck. Kubali, inside ball. The step, brilliantly done by Amorosino. Springbok under pressure. Jaco Kriel, has he done enough? Yes, he has. Ref says play on. Kitsoff. Stephen Kitsoff for South Africa. They need to calm it down. Mornay Steyn with the right boot. And some space on the right-hand side. They will breathe a sigh of relief, Robbie Kempson.
Good defense from the Springboks, showing a lot of character on their line. Wave of attack from the Argentines. And they managed to be held at bay. Some sturdy efforts coming in from Lawrence Arnya, Stephen Kitsoff, Peter Steph de Toy, all the Springboks putting their hands up. And the steal from Jaco Kriel. That was the vital one. And what a clearance from Steyn. Cool under pressure, almost back into the Argentine half.
Julian Montoya's first line-out throw. Over the top, Kubali into the traffic. Ran straight into Tebogo Mohoje, an opportunity for South Africa. Little dab over the top, Alano Mapu. Gerson chasing on, can't keep it in field.
Yeah, two players down. It was a real big impact in the midfield with Mohoje.
Yeah, it was a massive impact. They tried to attack the vacuum. Mohoje was there to cover it up, but there they had collision.
Juan Martin Hernandez straight into Opa Mohoje.
Jerome Garcia is having another look at this for potential foul play.
Well, I don't know about foul play as such. Yeah, brilliantly done and very good call from the TMO. Claire Newman, continue play, collision of heads.
Yeah,
23 points to 16. Argentina searching for the second victory against South Africa. But man, lying down has been very instrumental, bringing a lot of calmness and direction in the back line of Argentina.
Yeah, it
Juan
doesn't look
Martin
good for him.
Hernandez.
Very firm impact. So all the precautions being taken.
Yeah, Robbie, that looks horrific on the side of the head, even the way he landed. He's bleeding badly from the, looks like his chin or ear.
There was no shoulder.
I think it's rather unfair. I mean, they've been upstairs, they've had a chat about it. Glenn Newman, the TMO, has chatted to Jerome Garcia's, and I think the right decision's been made.
I think also when the flow of the game favors you, you've got a slightly upper hand. You're at home as well, so nothing wrong with Martin Landacho having a go.
No, fair call. And he's right, it's a massive loss for them. Juan Martin Hernandez could be the difference between winning and losing. He's got that spot on.
Yeah, one of the experienced players is an Argentine team. Juan Martin Hernandez made his debut back in 2003. A 62nd test match. Hopefully he'll recover to take part in the rest of the rugby championship. Sportsmanship from around both teams, and the fans just clapping Hernandez off.
Now, just to query over a few of the other tackles that Teboho Mohoja has managed throughout this game. He has been combative and sometimes just slipping up around the neck area.
On the attack, South Africa. Faf de Klerk, front foot ball. Mohoja getting involved. And a good stop from Ramiro Herrera. Damon Dialendi, Jesse Creel. They've created the one-on-one, the offload with Dialendi. They're so close. Adrian Strauss picked up the drive, but held short. Pieter-Steph du Toit spins out, the dot down. Try South Africa.
Much better from the Springboks. Pace on the ball, faster at the breakdown. And the big man, Pieter-Steph du Toit, he's standing out. If he gets that bulk going with any sort of momentum and pace, he does well. He goes low, spins out the tackle, gets across the line. The Springboks right back in this game. It's a very good effort from the forward pack. And some sleight of hand outside from Dialendi. The big man, Pieter-Steph du Toit, gets the try.
Important try that is for South Africa. His third and the green and gold for Pieter-Steph du Toit. Morne Steyn, one of his tougher kicks this afternoon to level the scores for the experienced Morne Steyn. Morne Steyn's kick looked good, and the ref say no. Second miss. South Africa trail 23 points to 21.
Well, a great try from the Springboks team there, and the key is they're starting to dominate the advantage line, making a huge difference. The forwards can run onto the ball. They're building up pressure, and Argentina at the moment look like they're hanging on.
Gonzalez Iglesias with the restart. Brian Abana has got it covered. Morne Steyn. The exit plan by the Springboks. Steyn will find touch.
Now, Shimmy, just the pace of the Argentines seems to have dropped substantially in the last 10 or 15 minutes. And the Springboks have upped the ante, as we would have expected, with the very athletic bench that's come on.
Yeah, it's Nicolas Sanchez also not making his way back onto the park. Julian Montoya looking for a jumper in the front, safety ball. Kubeli, little flat out wide, taken and very flat was Iglesias. Kubeli doubling around and a good defense by South Africa, but Matera has done enough. Secure possession. Guido Petty, another good carry by the replacement. Herrera runs into Mornay Steyn. Gets off on his feet, competing. There's the call from the ref for holding on.
Good from Stephen Kitsoff. He's got around the park, been full of energy since he's gone on scrum very well. And he's affected the turnover here for the Springboks.
Another good touch finder by Mornay Steyn.
Good running once again from the Argentines. Strong in the areas, particularly when they're taking it up the middle. It's Peter Steph de Toy. So once again, just slightly around the neck area. I think that's the concern.
Yeah, Robbie, and the crowd very quiet here. They realize that the team's losing a grip on this game.
Back ball for South Africa, off the top, Faf de Klerk, losing his footing. Peter Steph, Warren Whiteley. Pick up and draw from Peter Steph, the try scorer. Showing a bit of patience. Mahoja peeling off on the side. Now Eben Etzebeth, good contest from Kubeli. The cleaning out is brilliant by South Africa. Strauss, now it's available for Faf de Klerk, opting for the right-hand side. Mornay Steyn to Lionel Mapu. De Klerk, Jaco Kriel. Never onside. As the South Africa guard wide, they've got way too deep on the attack. Nowhere to go for Johan Goosen. Now the power through the counter. The ref has blown his whistle. Offsides, Argentina. Quickly taken, Faf de Klerk. Interesting stuff by Faf de Klerk.
Yeah, and the crowd is not happy with that.
Was it from the mark, Hanyani Shimangi?
We have to look at it again.
Was it the right decision?
Error at the level.
No, it wasn't.
It could so easily have gone wrong.
That did go wrong, gentlemen.
Little get out of jail card there for not being back 10 meters. And I think rather fortunate for Faf de Klerk.
Yeah, and now Rudy Page is warming up.
Not his best kicking display in the green and gold for Mornay Steyn. 1 from 3. In front of the upright. Extra 3 points for South Africa. And they're back in the lead for the second time in this match.
Almost deja vu, if you take it back a couple of years. Very much similar end to the game. With Mornay Steyn taking that final penalty.
And Rudy Page has come on for South Africa. Faf de Klerk's given way. Restart deep, and they've overcooked it. First mistake from the restart by Argentina.
And that they can ill afford right now. Momentum all South Africa's way with a centre scrum. With attacking opportunities. Particularly with Johan Goosen coming much more into the game.
Options both sides for South Africa. But first things first, they need a good platform, they need a good scrum.
Yeah, look, the bench has definitely improved the scrum. Stephen Kitsoff has scrum beautifully, and the key here is probably just to go for a big scrum, try get the penalty, go for points or kick it out into touch, and start building from then on.
And the young front row is on for the Argentines. How are they going to stand up 3 caps just for Pierretto, 21-year-old on the tight head side for Argentina.
Plenty of concentration from the Springbok scrum. One of their better ones in this clash. Damien Dialandi on the right-hand side. Jesse Creel needs to come back in field. Rudy Page. Peter Steph de Toy. Very able defense from the Argentines. Steyn finds Strauss, the captain, who finds Goosen. Johan Goosen, the switch with Lionel Mapu. Page on the blind side. They've run out of numbers, South Africa. Adrian Strauss, the clean out from Brian Abana was brilliant. Kitsoff. Lawrence Adrianse comes through in the pocket. Morne Steyn, the drop goal. Not to be.
I think there's bigger concern with Johan Goosen down, Shimmy.
Yeah, doesn't look good at all. Some water on the knee, but he's going to try battle on.
Quickly taken for Argentina on the counter. Cordero, good defense by Goosen, back on his feet to make a try-saving tackle. He's limping on. Advantage, penalty advantage for Argentina. Herrera, Mohoje, was that high? Here's the arm coming through. In the pocket, the drop goal from Lendajo. Advantage Argentina. Definitely within range.
And he's to take it. Once again, the quick 22 taken. Santiago Cordero did very well. There's also a pullback of a player. You see Jaco Kriel taking a player out. So the right decision for the penalty eventually coming. But he's going to be the brave man to step up.
Yeah, and I must say Argentina have been quite sharp with their tap kicks, trying to speed the game up and catching the Springbok team sleeping there.
He also defends for Jaco Kriel. Felt that Iglesias ran a very obstruction kind of line. Kriel couldn't get to the ball carrier. Get Argentina back in front. The strike is good. It's looking great over in Argentina. Back in the lead.
Tight game we have here. South Africa, what to do? Are they going to go for the short kick, try get possession back, milk the penalty? Calm under pressure, Santiago Iglesias.
Gonna make my way downstairs for the post-match. Robbie Kempson will take you through to the rest of the match.
Good work from Brian Abana. Just an unfortunate knock on there. And pleased from the Argentines.
Yeah, and if ever the Springboks needed a big scrum, Robbie K, here it is right now.
It was very strong out in the middle of the field with it kicked directly into touch. So no real questions been asked of the pack and the new front row that's come on. A solid right shoulder could unleash the backs. You see Brian Abana just in the pocket with Morne Steyn. First port of call though. The scrum.
Yeah, and the last one they had on the halfway was pretty solid. So another big one needed here from the Springbok pack.
Steady it is. Been told to use it. Warren Whiteley. Rudy Page. Out wide. It goes Goosen into the line. Brave defense from Argentina at the moment. More to come from South Africa. Peter Steph de Toy. What a tackle that is.
Could be a game winner, that, Robbie Kempson.
Oh.
That is a massive hit.
That could be the game changer, you're right. That could be the match winner. They've still got a scrum to come. A huge hit in midfield from the Argentines. And the crowd, Shimmy.
Yep, they've come alive. They're certainly turning the volume up. And this means a lot to them, clearly. But what a hit that. Forget about defensive system. Guts, determination. But the scrum still has to come here and expect a big response from the Springbok pack.
Now, moment of truth here for this front row. Kitsoff has been strong, as is Lauren Adrianse. Man in the middle, Adrian Strauss. They're going to need a massive effort right now. There's that man, Issa. He put in that big hit. Fukonda Issa, just 107 kilograms. What a game he has had here this evening in Salta. It could be a match-winning performance for his side.
Yeah, and I've got the Springbok benched right next to me. All up here, very nervous, but a big scrum needed.
Tangible down there, Shami.
Now, incredible scenes here. The crowd's up on their feet. A lot of chanting going on the Springbok bench right next to me. Some of the guys are sitting down, some standing up. The non-playing squad is all on the side of the field. And they're just praying for a massive scrum here to get a turnover ball as Argentina waits.
Philippe Aragui is on the tight head for Argentina, up against Steven Kitsoff. The moment of truth. Can they get a solid platform to get the ball out? Oh, what a scrum from Argentina. It should be enough, could be enough. It is enough. Argentina have beaten South Africa in Salta. And that's what it means to the coaching staff. Daniel Ricciardo has got the victory. He could almost have got last week, but this week he has got it right. A win here from Argentina, 26-24 of South Africa. Emotional moments for the side. They endeavoured all game, played it at pace, and a courageous captain, along with Facundo Issa's massive hit on Peter Steph de Toy, have won the day for Argentina here in Salta.
Yeah, and massive, Robbie, you mentioned that pack's going to be put under pressure. They actually dominated that last scrum. And what a second half we've seen here. Fight back from the Springboks, Argentina, and it went right down to the wire. But great scenes here in Salta as the home crowd celebrate.
Serrera did exceptionally well. That last scrum, really managing to keep it tight and steady. And all their coaching staff were down, congratulating their men. Augustine Creevy led from the front throughout. Emotional scenes for him, no doubt. As for the captain at the end of the game, Ladajo, another fantastic game from him. What about Iglesias, who got that final kick over to take the lead and to get Argentina into the victory position that they have now managed to conclude. Tears from their captain. I'm sure they're all hoping that Hernandez is all well on the side of the field after that collision. Fireworks aplenty in Salta. Issa brave and courageous throughout. Famous victory for the Argentines.